Okay, Mr. Obinna,
Yes.
our discussion has been very great, and I'm curious to know, how do you manage your normal job, your family life, and running Achievers World?
Okay, thank you so much. Well, we must understand how to manage time. It's what they call time management. And the second thing is this passion.
Mm-hmm.
When you have passion for something,
Yes.
it is not a problem, even if they wake you up from sleep to engage in that your passion, it will not be an issue for you. It will not be problematic for you. So I've always been passionate about impact. You know, I love teaching. That's why I say passion.
Mm-hmm.
I love teaching. I love giving out knowledge. So that's my passion. So when I give out knowledge like this, I feel fulfilled. When people sit down and I'm talking and they are listening and they are taking note, gives me there's this joy I derive from it. So that is my passion. So whenever I stand to, manage these aspects of my life, passion keeps me going. Even though it is not, sometimes it might not be convenient, but because I am passionate about it, family life can be demanding.
Yes.
My work life is also demanding. My job is demanding, and my private life, because I am also into music. So these things are, time conscious. But because I have passion about impact, it's not an issue trying to
You find a way to balance things out.
Exactly.
That's interesting. That's interesting because a lot of people around the world want to do business at the same time while they work and everything. And you hear people complaining about not having enough time and don't have the complete detail of why their time, they find it difficult to have time for the things that they are passionate about. I don't know if I should say maybe the Z is not that strong enough, or passion, like you rightly said. But I think the key word here, like you rightly said, is time management.
Exactly.
Being able to manage your time and everything.
Yeah, because 24 hours is allocated to everybody.
That's true.
It does not matter who you are, whether rich, poor, it does not matter who you are. Everybody has got 24 hours. Nobody has 25 hours.
Absolutely.
So time management, the ability to be able to allot time to your passion, family, your work, your pleasure life, is very, very essential. You must know how to.
And to these two, I will add something that you said earlier on, discipline. If I remember when you said that you were working on your driver's license in 2015, for good 6 months you had to shut out social media. Anything that you knew then would be a form of distraction to you, you shut them off and everything. That takes a lot of discipline. Due to the fact that our life today is almost purely based on, is very interconnected. Most of the things we do are based on our access to phone, social media and everything. It's our way of contacting even people that are dear to us and the rest. So mastering that kind of discipline and said no. At this period of at this particular time, I will need not to do this. And close shutting out social media, I'm telling you, my brother, for some people that may mean going to an emergency department.
You're right.
It is, we are so attached to it, there is no how that anyone can explain it.
You see, one of the things that helped me as at that time to be able to shut down was insight. I was able to see the future. Because I came to the country, I had the opportunity of going from place to place by the normal bus service.
Okay.
But I looked into the future. I said, one day I'll be a family man.
Yes.
One day I will need to have children. Is this how I would like to continue? That was the question I asked myself.
Which means you had a talk with yourself.
I spoke to myself. I said, this is how I'll be jumping, because there were times, in order for me to catch up with those I've been running. As soon as I come down from my house, it is a race to the bus. a serious race. And most times, as soon as I'm getting to before I get to the bus, will just I have to wait. If it's an hour later, I have to wait for an hour later. So I sat down and I asked myself, this is how you want to continue. When you become a family man, when you begin to have to decide to be running just to get up the bus, is there nothing you can do now to safeguard the future? That was the question I asked myself. And because I saw the future, that I don't know how long will I continue to run? We are not getting any younger. How long will I continue to run? I saw the future and I decided to do the needful, because when you see your future and you are passionate about getting to that future, you will not even look at you will not reason the difficult road you are going to take to get to that future.
Because the goal outweigh the difficulties along the way.
So when I saw it, I said, okay, I need to concentrate. And with the era of social media, most times you can be doing something with your phone. Before one message will come, something interesting to you, you just click it, and by the time you know it, you have spent 30 minutes, 1 hour on something that you are not even interested in
doing.
So what I did was, in order not to receive all those, I removed everything from my phone. The only thing that I had in my phone was the quiz. So as I'm studying that quiz, studying it in my phone, in fact, there was no time for play. Why? Because I go to work, on my way to work, then I wasn't driving. So on my way to work, somebody is driving me, I'm studying with my phone. I get to work, and during break, I study with my phone. Then, we have two types of break. We have 10 minutes break, at every 2 hours interval. We have the 1 hour break. So in the 10 minutes break, I'm on my phone studying. There is no social media to distract me. When we do the 1 hour break, I'm still on my phone. At least for 30 minutes, I'm on my phone trying to get it right. And the next 10 minutes break, I'm also on my phone. On my way back home, I'm also on my phone studying. When I get back home after dinner, taking my bath, I leave the phone and I go to the computer where I have the major quiz, and I study. I will do it like that even up till 1 a.m. in the night.
When you have to go
and
to work
the following day. So that was the determination. That was the discipline I had to, imbibe in myself for me to get it. And thank God I was able to get it. So it has actually made life easy, because as I speak, if I say, okay, I want to use the bus to go to work, there's no possibility as of now. Then maybe there were chances, but now there's no bus that will take me to my place of work. So these were what I saw then. I
decided to move.
Yes.
In other words, especially for young folks out there, I think what we can take away from this beautiful discussion is that it is not enough to think about it. When you have seen the future in your mind that you want to go, or where you would like to be in the future, the next step is to act upon it. Take action. The road might not be easy, like Obinna has rightly said, and for some people maybe that are Italians, or for some people that got these things easy, they might think it is not necessary, you don't have to do that much work to get there. But I can guarantee you, if you are already an adult, you have responsibilities, and you are a foreigner. Not only do you have responsibilities here, you have responsibilities back home. I can guarantee you, except you apply this level of discipline, you might not have even the mental disposition to be able to concentrate on driver's license. So these are information that I believe will be very, very helpful to those that are just coming, and even those that are already here that may want to turn things around for them. This wisdom could be applied in various aspects of our life, and I will encourage you all to take note of it. Don't only think about it, what you want in life, act on them. Take action that will get you to your destination. Thank you very much, Mr. Obinna. And while you were talking, something came to my mind in this sense that Here I am sitting with a man that has done business in Nigeria, a different kind of business entirely, has even gone through an apprenticeship program, and today you are doing something completely different in Italy. How is it like? I mean, what will you describe to be the difference between doing business in the Nigerian economic environment in comparison to where you are today in Italy?
Okay. Well, the common denominator is being able to provide service. There is no much difference as long as you're able to provide service. I was doing business back home, yes, in Nigeria, and I've also continued. I've not stopped. We're also into real estate as well back home, where we go to places, we purchase landed properties, and then we resell them to people
Big
that
buyers.
exactly. So we're still in business. But what I would say is that the common factor, the common denominator in this is being able to provide service, and maybe earn a living as you go along the way. There are no much differences because the only thing is there are different locations. Business remains the same as long as you're able to provide service and you get something, you get profit from it. But different locations may, impact on the kind of business that may be done. For instance, back here, if I decide to go into real estate, here in Italy, which we are also looking into in the nearest future, you discover that real estate back home and real estate here, they are not the same. Real estate back home, there is no scheme that will, help you to acquire properties. You must have the cash
Yes.
to be able to acquire. But back here, there is a scheme that helps to provide, maybe through the government or through your bank, help to provide some fund for you to be able to acquire the desired real estate you want to go into.
Yes.
So these are the different, just that they are all there to providing service, but there are different ways.
It's a different business environment.
Different approach to it. So
In other words, if I understood you better, you have to have a service to render.
Exactly.
That is one of the formula. Then having figured out the value you wish to exchange, then the environment becomes secondary.
Exactly.
The primary thing is having a value
Exactly.
to exchange.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a very beautiful take, because I have heard from some people that it is practically unthinkable doing business in Italy. So
To me, it's not unthinkable. The thing is, do you have a service that you want to render? If you have a service you want to render, go about it the normal way. Once, because there are here, the law here stands.
yes,
You understand? There are things you don't do here. So when you have a service that you want to render, go about it the normal way, and it will be easy. There are no difficulties there. It depends on what you want to go into. If you have a service to render, then you go about it the normal way, the legal way.
yes, of course, definitely. We are not here to promote illegality, so definitely the legal way. In other words, figure out the service that you wish, or something of value that you wish to exchange or provide for the society. One way or the other, you will find the best way to go about it. Mr. Obinna, how did you manage the transition from Nigeria business environment to Italian business environment? The reason why I'm asking this question is this. Except I am wrong, you correct me. You were doing a very different type of business in Africa before you came to Italy. And today you're into training and coaching business and real estate as well back home in Nigeria, which I believe you were not into more than 10 years ago. Does the change of identity in professional identity, did it ever bother you?
It did not actually bother me. You see, like I said before, I've always wanted to impact. I've always wanted to give value.
Okay.
And any value that you have to give, most times you give them in exchange for monetary, gratification.
Of course. That is why it is business, otherwise it will not be a business.
So the idea to give that value has always been there. So if the idea is there, transition is not really the issue, because the idea, I've been this person that I've always wanted to do business.
Okay.
And the bottom line of my business is to give value. So leaving the African scene to this country, when I got here, I was looking for the kind of value that I'll be able to give. And that was what brought us to Achievers World, because we saw that this is something that people want. People want to know this thing. It's difficult for them. Let us step in. It's easy for us. We'll be able to master it over time. So it's easy for us to be able to pass that knowledge, to be able to exchange this value. So that was just the bottom line. The transfer of the kind of business we're doing there. Mind you, what we're doing there was also value. We're exchanging value there.
In that context.
You understand? We're doing bilateral trade between Ghana and Nigeria. So what we were doing basically was to look for those things that we needed in Ghana that are available in Nigeria. Those things that are available in Nigeria, we take them to people that need it in Ghana, and we exchange those things for monetary gratification. Then we look for the things that are in Ghana that may be needed in Nigeria. So what we do is we take those things that in Ghana that they need in Nigeria back to Nigeria, and we exchange that value for monetary gratification. So when we came here, the idea, one thing about idea is that you can't kill it. If an idea is very strong, irrespective of where you find yourself, it will spring up again. It may take time, because you are still trying to see how you can harness that idea. But when as long as it is there, it may take time, but it will spring up. So that same idea of what we were doing back home, when we got here, we were also looking for is to continue with that idea. So the transition was not actually an issue. Even if I go to Canada today, if I decide to relocate, which I'm not thinking in the nearest future, if I find myself anywhere in the world today, that idea of exchange of value
is still there.
So when I get there, I will also look for how to continue with that idea. So transition has never been an issue.
That's a very beautiful thing. That's a very beautiful thing. My next question is this. In real sense, you have answered the next question, to be honest, because without knowing, you've answered that already, to be very honest. So I would like to know, Mr. Obinna, if you had been in Nigeria today, what would you be doing?
If I were to be in Nigeria today, I would two things I would be doing. I'll be doing real estate, and I'll be in the educational sector, where I'll be impacting. I've told you that my impact is what I love doing is to teach. I don't know if it's because my father was a teacher.
I would like to know what is your father's opinion concerning Achievers World?
When I told him about it, it was a welcome development. He loved it. He loved it because he saw what he was doing. He saw that his son was doing.
It's a continuation of legacy.
So
it has been the family legacy to be in academic world.
Exactly. So he was happy when I told him. I remember when I told him I went to Nigeria that year, and I said, that's you. We were together in the hotel. When I told him this is what I'm doing, he said, really? I said, yes. He said, wow, that's nice. That he remembered when he was also a teacher. So he liked it, and he encouraged me to continue. So what am I trying to say? What I'm saying is that impact that I want to always give is what will propel me to go into that educational sector. It might not necessarily be in university. If the opportunity is there, say yes. If the opportunity is there, why not? But if it's not there, I I want to be able to be in an environment whereby people will listen to me as I back them with the knowledge that God has given to me.
Absolutely.
And secondly, another thing that I'll be doing business-wise is real estate, because I have come to understand that real estate is the only estate that is real. Every other estate might not be necessarily tangible, let me use the word. But real estate is the only estate that's real. Very tangible. You buy a plot of land, you see it, it's looking at you, you're looking at it, and as the year goes by, it appreciates. Every other thing depreciates. An open land where there's no building on it appreciates. So if I find myself in Nigeria today, I will continue. I've already started with the real estate business back home, so I will continue with it. And I also look for a way to impact my people, to impact people generally, not just my own people, to impact people of different, of any background with the knowledge that God has given. So these are the two major things.
That's unbelievable. I would have loved to ask, what is it that drives you? But from your explanation, one could see that your desire to impact those around you is a driving force in anything that you do. Except I'm wrong, you correct me, but I genuinely believe hearing you, sitting down with you during this discussion that we've had, and it's a burning desire in you to be able to impact those that are around you. And I wish you the very best in every of your endeavors. Believe me, it's what I really, it's how I feel, and I pray that all of your wishes come true. I'm also very much interested in vocational training and empowerment. I do believe, even if it is not necessarily a university, just like you rightly said, even having a center that young people can go and improve their leadership skills and everything is something that is very, very important. That is why I thought of the Pedro Apollos Leadership Summit. And I hope that in the future we're able to collaborate and see how best we can help guide the younger ones, even not necessarily to help them to avoid mistakes, because mistakes too are very, very important in our growth. So to guide them and encourage them to be bold and audacious, because in the last few years we have had a society that wish or try their best to protect us too much. Probably based on the past experience, the First and Second World War, the hatred that was in the world and everything. So everybody around us did their best to protect us, even from making mistakes and every other thing. But if you ask me, with my experience in life today and with the things that I know, the primary idea is not to protect people. I will not even use the word to say evil or mistake whatsoever. It's to teach them how to manage a difficult situation like that. Because one could really see from your story the tenacity, the courage, and determination. Rightly, your tenacity and courage have saved you well. So I had a question here already, because I wanted to ask, what keep you going? I have also seen from your narration that your burning desire to impact those around you, in my opinion, above everything else, it is what keeps you going. That's just it. And I wish everybody around us will have this kind of mindset. Not because at the end of the day, the value you exchange will give you money.
Exactly.
But the primary aim is not the money. It's to be able to impact those around us. Money comes from exchange of value.
Exactly.
Definitely, if you have something valuable to exchange, people will pay you for it. So that is just how life is. Thank you so very much again for sharing this knowledge and everything with us today. So, one other thing in conclusion that I would like to know is that when you were in Nigeria, did you ever participate or follow any political event? Were you ever in your life politically inclined? Or?
Yes, actually, I've been very politically inclined, although I have not served in any political office. My own idea of political inclination is to advocate for good leadership.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I see a good leader or I see somebody that um, may become a good leader in the society, what I do is I advocate for such a person. I give the person necessary support by letting people know that look, let us encourage this young man or this young woman, because we're not talking about men alone.
Of course.
Women are also,
of course,
good people when it comes to politics. Most of them have been able. I've seen a whole lot of women that have done wonderful things in the polity. So I tend to encourage them. When I was in Nigeria, I worked for, not necessarily work, I volunteered to work with a political party just to monitor the elections, make sure that there were no
human practices
exactly.
also.
So that was what I did as at that time. But since then, I've not really been actively involved in that respect. What I do is I support a good leader that is trying to put himself forward to, to go into a leadership position.
Yes.
And what I do is by the time I have done my due diligence about that individual, I offer my support, because I know that when we have good leaders in different positions of power, society will be there will be sanity in the society. Society will be enjoyable. People people will feel the positive impact.
Yes.
But when the wrong person is in a position of power, it is detrimental, not just to everybody. And that is why we want to use this opportunity to encourage youths to be actively, involved in politics, not in the sense that we put them out there as being dangerous.
Yes.
They will be involved in the sense that if they are not involved, the people that are involved, whatever they decide, will affect those that are not even involved.
Yes.
So they should be involved as to who is given the mandate to rule or who is given the mandate to lead. You understand? So when they're involved and they collectively select a prudent individual to hold any position of power, it will affect everybody.
Absolutely.
Formally, there are usually see people that will say, no, they do politics, I know they do politics, but the people that are into it, whatever they decide will affect you.
Absolutely, that is so
when
true.
When the bad leader emerges, his policies will affect the whole nation.
Everyone.
So
Everyone.
that's why I use this opportunity to say people should be actively involved even in the grassroots level, from the grassroots level to the pinnacle level.
That is even the closest to you.
Exactly. In the grassroots level.
Politics is local.
Exactly.
The closest to you is your local council.
Exactly.
Your state government before you get to the federal level, in the case of Nigeria.
Exactly. So
I share the idea. I
that's
share
what I
the
do.
idea.
That's what I do.
Thank you so very much. I share the idea. And just to add to what you rightly said, I mean, referring back to what we said earlier on in our discussion that has to do with the health sector in Nigeria, good politics will bring about good health politics as well. Because it is practically not possible for private individuals to provide the health structure and facilities that we need in Nigeria. But in partnership with the government, and it is possible. Leaving it in the hands of private individuals, will make it too costly for an average citizen. So there should be a thin line, a point of contact, a kind of collaboration between the federal government and private sector to be able to provide good healthcare services for all of us. And we are just talking about healthcare here. It includes every other aspect of our society. So, and in the words of Barack Obama, when you talk about election earlier on, Barack Obama said election has consequences. So the leader you choose at times determine the kind of future you have as a nation. So to all of you out there, you may not be inclined to go into politics I am not even asking you to, but if we unite together to choose a leader that will have the interests of the people at heart, it might be very helpful to all of us. And I'm really grateful about that, Obinna. So, if I may ask, do you follow Italian politics?
I may not be up to date, because I'm still trying to understand the Italian politics. I'm still trying to understand. I may not be up to date, but I show my support. When I see good governance, I show my support. When I see, anyone that is in a position of power, I show my support. When I see anyone that is interested in going into politics, I give my support. Because I know that when there is sanity in the politics, it will definitely affect. I may not really be, because I have discovered that the Italian system of government is kind of different from what we have back home.
Absolutely.
So I'm still trying to capture it. I'm still trying to get it, but I always show my support for the polity.
That's interesting. And you choose, like most of us, you choose Italy as your home country. I mean, Italy is a very difficult country.
Yes.
Like we all know. And my question therefore is, what are the type of changes will you like to see in the future, and how do you think you will be able to contribute to that type of changes, to realize them? Because I do believe it is not enough to hope and wish for a particular change, leaving it in the hands of other people. If you wish for a particular change in the Italian society that you have chosen as your home, how do you hope to be part of that change?
Okay. You see, one of the things I'd like to see, one of the changes I'd like to see in the nearest future, so to speak, is an inclusive government. An inclusive government in the sense that everyone, irrespective of your color or your background, you are given free opportunity to get into positions of power.
Okay.
One of the things I like about UK is that they are free. The level of racism in that country is not is on the low, because currently I believe that their prime minister is an Indian from
Indian origin,
Indian accent. So these are the things I want to see in
Rishi
this country.
Sunak.
Yes, these are the things I want to see in the nearest future in this country, whereby a black man from wherever, from India, from Africa, from wherever, as long as he's able or he has gotten to the level of power, should be given access. In every sector, not just in the polity, in every sector, in the educational sector, so that this racism of you are not Italian, therefore you are not given, opportunity. You will not be given opportunity, or maybe they give an opportunity like that, they may want to frustrate the person out of office. For me, it's not welcome. I want the society which we live in. I've chosen this country to be my home. I look forward to where everybody is somebody, irrespective of where you are coming from, irrespective of what you know or who you even know. Africans are given opportunity to become what they want. It was until recently that I heard that Africans can now enroll and become police officers. Formerly, I don't think it was so.
Okay.
So these are the things we are talking about. Giving people from other, as long as they merit it, not just giving them just like that.
Because they
know.
In this case, you are not neglecting the aspect of merit.
Exactly. As long as they merit it, it's not just to dance the pedal. No. As long as they merit it, as long as they have been able to get to that level in the right sense, not dubiously. I believe that people from the third world that are living here should be given opportunity to be whatever they want to be. Like I told you, my father wanted me to be a military man. Maybe in the future, my child might decide to go into the military.
Because the desire is already in the family.
You understand? So it will be an eyesore if my child intends to go that, pass that route, and the system does not allow. You discover that such a person will not live a fulfilled life, because you have not given that person the opportunity to be himself or herself. So these are the things.
Even from a country the only country that he knows.
The only country he knows. And moreover, mind you, the children that we are giving birth to, this is where they know. We were not born here. That is why most of us will travel back home to see our people that are there. The children that are born here, this is their home.
That is a fact.
So when they grow up,
it is a fact.
Exactly, when they grow up and they discover that they want to become this, and because of their descent, it is denied, or they are denied access. You see that such a child or such an individual will not live a fulfilled life. So these are what we are looking into. We are praying that God should make it happen in our own time. That's what I want to see. That's what I look forward to seeing in the nearest future.
Is there anything that you can do from your part to bring about this reality?
Well, what we can do is, if our voices will be heard, you understand, from this podcast and maybe from other engagement that we have, these are the things we must be advocating for. Whenever we're given the opportunity to speak, we should do it, because until you talk, people might not hear.
Absolutely.
And it might not get to the necessary authorities that it is supposed to get to. So
that's
until
absolutely
we begin
true.
to talk, say the things that we want, you might not see them materialize. So by the means of this podcast and by the means of the several other engagements that we may be having in the nearest future, this is what I'll be doing. I'll be putting it up at all times, saying that, look, as long as our children are given the opportunity, let them have it. As long as they merit it, give them the opportunity to do it. So that's how I'll be able to contribute.
That's interesting. Advocacy is an integral part of our society when it comes to fundamental human rights and everything. Someone out there, somewhere in the world has to advocate for our rights. And if we ourselves, that we could describe in this situation as the first generation, because we came to this country while our children might be the second one. But if it starts even with the first generation, I believe it will get better.
Exactly.
Than it gets to the second generation. It will be easier for them as well. This is because, in my opinion as well, and in this case, I will cite the words of Miriam Wright Edelman, an American writer and a child educator, a civil rights activist, and the rest. She says that we cannot become what we cannot see. So I intentionally asked this question because it's something I, for one, would like to see, that in the nearest future, people like you and myself live intentionally in this society. We no longer commonize or disregard the political life of the country that we live in, because indeed the impact of politics, local, national or international, especially as strangers, people that are resident in this country, the impact is very profound in our life. A government can come tomorrow and decide to neglect the constitution and enact some policies or political ideas that may destabilize our well-being. And for anyone that has lived in a particular place for more than 5 years, it will be practically difficult for the person to just pack his or her bag and go back to where they used to live. And it's I will not say anti-progress, it's against the human progress. That's the best way I believe I'll be able to qualify an adjective. I couldn't find another adjective to be able to use, but it does not lead to progress, to human progress. I'm really grateful about your idea of continuing to advocate for an inclusive society and encouraging merit as well, which is something that is very, very important.
Yes.
I want to say thank you Thank you very much for this opportunity that you gave us today to
Thank
be able to interview you.
you so
I'm
much.
happy with the idea and the wisdom that you have shared with us today,
Thank you so much.
and I hope it becomes very useful to those that will watch this podcast and they apply it in their life, because from time to time we need good and positive message like this that we will be able to apply in our private life and be that contributing factor in the society that we live in, either in Italy or back home in Nigeria or wherever it is that you are watching us from. Mr. Obinna, for those that want to get in contact with you, how will they find you?
Okay, I'm on social media. You can follow me on my social media platform. On Facebook, I'm OBINNA STANLEY. On Instagram, I'm thechamp80. Thechamp80. So these are my social media platforms. So you can feel free to send me the idea either on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not, I'm too more. My profiles are just two: Instagram and Facebook. I don't have a profile on Twitter, which is currently X, because I'm not too social media inclined. I just only have two that I can be contacted.
It's already enough. Instagram and Facebook, a lot of people use it. So you can get in contact with you from whoever is interested in speaking or having a one-on-one chat with Obinna Stanley. On Facebook, you can find him as Obinna Stanley, and on Instagram as the Champ18. Then you get in touch with him, take advantage of his abundant knowledge and everything, and especially if you are new in this country, his wisdom might be very, very helpful to you, because at times navigating the intricacies of the immigrant life in a new country while settling down, still yet to settle down, because being settled is a different thing entirely. There is a huge distance from arriving and settling. So if you are still in that process, or even if you have already settled, the wisdom, these gems that Obinna Stanley shared with us today will be very, very helpful to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Obinna.
Thank you so much for having me.
I have no words to thank you for the possibility, and I wish you the best in every of your endeavors. Thank you so much, everyone watching us. Continue to watch this video. Until next time, bye bye.